Wait.
Recursion.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and I am saying, what's going on? I am here today with...
License Hench. How you doing, everybody?
Yeah, see, I had to wake you up on that one, didn't I? But yes, and welcome to Bust a Recap, the show that, well, how can I put it? We are here, and we are here to recap, if you will, the stuff that we talk about and do during the week. The TV we watch, the Netflix shows that we watch, the adventures that we get up to, and the phone calls that we get. We're in the middle of something. Just kidding, yeah. People should know, do not call me when I make it very public that I'm about to start working. So, I'm even interrupting myself. This is terrible.
I think you got some paradox backlash going on there, buddy.
You think? So anyway,
you used up too much getting the camera angles fixed, and now you got to pay the piper.
Yeah. Hopefully we're coming in a lot clearer, a lot smoother. We're trying to get rid of the grain. Look at all the grain. Trying to make it not as grainy.
Yeah, you should notice we're going a little clearer because the Cinematic Sorcerer pulled off a little more techno wizardry, and actually managed to get a little better camera angle, and, which means he doesn't have to process the image as much, so it looks a lot cleaner.
Well, you know what? Every day, every way, we get a little better. Yeah. Or as we used to say in my neighborhood, each one teach one. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome.
Been little manic lately, which is a good thing. It's kind of a fun ride.
Manic?
Yeah, you know. Well, we had our big Leo party last weekend, and then it was sort of like, now I got no major deadlines, not a lot of pressure to get things done, so had a couple of like staycation days, just kind of hid in the house with computer games, air conditioning, and Netflix, and just sort of like, you know.
I hate you so hard.
Yeah, because I know your Sunday was hell. I was just happy I had some network. I found that network cable.
I'm just saying I hate you. I'm gonna have a staycation. I'm gonna play some video games and now go on.
Yeah,
oh, that's fine.
Saturday I got to hang out with Stickman, and because he has been threatening, I kid you not, 8 months now, to have a screening of Guardians, not Legend of the Guardians, but Guardians, the Russian Avengers movie.
Oh.
And I was like, you want to see something? I'm like, let's watch that Guardians movie, because you've been threatening me with this thing, and I really wanted to see this movie.
I'm so mad. See, I was busy working. I was serious. I was like coming up with money to continue to fund this operation, and you're watching cheesy movies.
Hey, I will gladly sit through that movie again. I would gladly sit through that movie and watch someone else watch it, very much in a Exterminator City way, but not in the this is such a train wreck that you have to watch it way. But there are, because the movie does deliver exactly what it promises.
Okay, all right,
which is
fair.
A well done, angry CG bear with twin autocannons mounted on its back, just shooting the hell out of everything.
Did I mention I hate you? Seriously. See, Saturday, I was meeting with a client for manual labor, and you know how I feel about meeting with clients.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's... Okay, I'm gonna put this out there, all right? When you do manual labor, you have two phases. You have learning to do your job, where you really don't know what you're doing, so you have to listen to everybody's concern all the time, because if not, you're gonna be fired. Okay, that's just what's gonna happen. At least that's been my experience. Okay, and yeah, it is seriously a thing. And then there's stage two, where you know what you're doing, and you can say, I don't need this job, if you don't need this job. Okay, but I need this job. I was in a bit of a fender bender on Saturday on my way to this job. So man, do I need this job more than ever. Because yeah, my insurance company is going to be like, hey, I know you got liability, but yeah, that's a wonderful motorcycle. Be ashamed if it just disappeared one day. You know, that's how they work. That's how they work. And yeah, and I met with my client, and my client is awesome. He's a great dude. The thing is, he doesn't really stop talking ever at all. And as soon as the drinking happens, he keeps talking, and he talks louder. And he's not exactly a lil dude. Like, I can't give this dude a hug and have my hands touch, because, I mean, he is a mountain of a man whose shadow alone weighs 53 pounds. You know what I'm going to say? There is somebody here that we forgot to thank. So I am going to say, man, thank you for showing up.
Okay.
Because, you know, I got to thank you for showing up. You're my boy. You know, but I really also have to thank, you know, our wonderful friends, the chat. Look at those guys. Hard blarg. We got Ruthless over there saying, yeah, 2 phases. 1, learn well, you'll hate this job later. And 2, hating the job later. Oh, preach it, counselor. Preach. You know, I'm telling you, man, that is very much a thing. And did we? Yeah, we did.
Did we?
It's a thing, huh?
Did we what?
Oh, no. Okay, I'm always concerned. Let's see. I think it was Friday. No, not Friday. Well, one of the days that Sunday when we were doing our cast, it kept cutting out. So I've got like 5 different episodes of Game Gallery that's all the same episode.
Because it just kept interrupting.
It kept cutting out, and then I had to restart it, and then cut it out and restart it, which I was actually starting to think of doing for each segment of these shows.
Maybe doing it on purpose,
just so I can be like, I'll name this segment the thing we were talking about. I'll name this segment the other thing we were talking about. So that, you know, people...
This segment, the one about the frogs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, all our shows are about an hour and a half long, and people go, that's just too long. I don't have an hour and a half attention span unless Thanos is on screen. You know?
Really, an hour and a half long? It doesn't seem like I talk that long. Of course, once the drinking's starting, then I really start. Wait a minute.
You weren't my client. Yeah, you weren't my client. So, yeah. But... You know, I was thinking, like, if I did the stop and then the restart and then the stop and the restart, you know, not only would I be producing a lot of content, like, oh my God, look at all the videos from back in the deck, but it would be a lot easier for the newer people to come in and navigate. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Would
it be too disruptive for you guys to have to, like, would they have to jump into a new chat?
No. They would have to do is just either reload the page or just wait until we come back. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 minutes off. But I don't know. I like the flow of going straight through because, you know, how often do you go, I need a break from this conversation. Let me go fit out that. You know, but, you know, that's just me being selfish. Because I'm a selfish dude. But yeah, what else did you get up to this weekend?
Let's see. Got to play around with the VR chat. Our friend
hanging with the Ver.
Ver. Our friend Get Offenderist has been playing around with VR chat and was like, "Hey, you got to check this out. I think this is really cool." And I don't actually have a VR setup, but you can log into the chat using your computer. You just can't interact with the world as well. It's much more like a first-person shooter video game. But yeah, I ran around and I checked out the world. It spent about a half hour getting it to actually, you know, run on my computer because my computer's not quite powerful enough to handle it. But ran around and it was actually really intuitive once I figured out the basic interface. And they actually when you log into your virtual reality, they have a tutorial world you walk through with signs that explain like how to pick up and throw blocks, how to like activate the shooting gallery, that kind of thing. And then you go into your world, your personal little VR apartment, and they have videos on the virtual TV you can play that explains how to do everything.
Okay.
And you go in the worlds, and they have TVs that can play YouTube videos.
Oh, that is actually pretty awesome.
So we went to a movie theater, hung out with random people from around the world, and watched like YouTube movie clips. But it was like being in a real movie theater. Like, if I got up and moved the seats, the angle would change. If I got closer to people, I could physically hear what they're saying. If I stepped away, I stopped hearing them.
So what you're telling me is you were hanging out at Elon Musk's house, and he was actually confirming that we live in an illusion.
Yeah. But I really think that first off, the technology isn't quite there yet. It was a little glitchy, but that's also, this program's still in beta. So it's free. It's completely free to use, and everything's free because it has a lot of issues. But the other thing is that I think that this is going to be what computer usage is going to be in 10 years.
Okay.
So that's, I think, the new social media.
A lot less what we're doing now, and a lot more, say, Lawnmower Man or what Minority Report. Tom Cruise, like the whole,
because
hey, look, I'm doing it. Johnny Mnemonic as well.
Because within 20 minutes of me not knowing what I was doing, I was Marvin the Martian, 2.5 feet tall, walking around random people going, hello.
Okay, number one, you weren't a Martian, you were a barista. Get it right. And second, don't ever do that voice on air again. Just
you don't like my voices? I was inspired by that one thing, that actually do voices with characters.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, you can do that voice. Just be tasteful.
Tasteful?
Yes.
I know what these words mean individually, but context, tact. What's that? But I really think that this is where, just because of the power of it, being able to walk in, interact with an environment, but completely alter your appearance at a whim. It's like all those sci-fi books about Matrix and VR and stuff we read years and years ago. I'm like, yeah, this actually like is a powerful psychological thing, and people are gonna really dig it. I don't know if everyone who's been on forums or whatever, or where you kind of have like your forum persona, like this is that on crack.
Ooh.
So yeah. I have a feeling that it'll be where you'll log into your virtual environment, hang out with your VR friends, and then like, hey, you want to go play a game, and then you'll go into the actual game, which will have a lot more, very similar to what we do now.
Okay.
But I really think in 10 years that's where it's going to be, because the technology is already getting really, really cheap.
Okay. I'm with that. I'm definitely with that. Yeah, I was checking out. I ended up having to buy a laptop.
What?
Yeah, I had to buy a laptop.
What happened?
Nothing broke. But see, here's the thing. The broadcast software that I use from this part of the Wizards Tower works really well on Windows and really crap on most Linux boxes. So I had to go and get another Windows box, just a little i5, so that I could actually run the show, because we did the first episode of the Twitch show. For Inomine. So now we have joined the ranks of the other drops in the ocean of people that are filming their role-playing game on Twitch.
So that makes you a Twitcher?
I'm a Twitcher, a YouTuber, a website dude, a sorcerer, a musician, a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. Like, sometimes people are like, dude, is there anything you don't do? And I'm like, yeah, I don't talk to people very well. Nor do I know how to fly a helicopter yet, so.
We also walk dogs. It's a Heinlein reference.
Well, yeah, hey, you walk dogs. But yeah, so outside of all that, I ended up setting up everything thanks to our good friend Paul. He secured a different part of the Wizards Tower, and I learned a lot yesterday. Oh boy, did I learn a lot. But one of my dudes didn't pack one of the wires, and I'm just like, ooh. I didn't mind him packing stuff. Like, I thought it was all cool, but I forgot that he doesn't know how this setup goes.
So he didn't know it was critical.
And he forgot one of the critical wires, and I'm just like, nah, 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 nah. And there is not a Target or a Best Buy or anything near the Wizards Tower. So So I'm like, damn it, and the thing is gonna cost $25 just to go. You know, that's how I was looking at everything. So I had to make everything work with one camera, and fortunately, the new laptop had a webcam. So
nice.
Yeah, so it literally looked like I was working with two cameras in two different locations, but it was all good. I was impressed. If you guys want to check out what we did, head over to twitch.tv/bid_p, and that was our first Inamine session 0. Yes, we did make it work, and it worked really well, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, if you head over to our Twitch channel, you'll be able to see what we did. I got a good sense of the space that we were working with. The hardest part was splicing together the Cat5 wire. I'm just sitting up going, I don't have any wire strippers. Lighter. And that took like 45 minutes. You know, because of course you gotta do the thing, but I'm really proud of my players. They got through character creation in a game that they're not familiar with in, I would say, about 90 minutes. 3 people, full character creation, 90 minutes.
Nice. That's actually very hard to do.
Yeah. They said what was it? I bludgeoned them with a plot bat or something like that. But you know, when I gave the description of what the game is, because I chose the game that I chose because it's big in Brazil, not in the United States. I looked for 3 weeks on YouTube to find anything mentioning this game, and it was all in Portuguese.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm like, so no one's doing this?
Oh.
Okay, I guess somebody is now, ain't they? Yeah, look at me. I'm gonna be that guy. Clue by 4. Oh yes, a clue by 4. That's what it was. Yeah,
clue by 4.
Yes, I hit them with a clue by 4. You know, I beat the crap out of them with a clue by 4. Is the whole thing. And I'd never heard the term before. Is the thing. I'd never heard anyone use the term
clue by 4. That's new to me.
Yeah, but I like it. I'm like a clue by 4 with the, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I hit him with a clue by 4. Boom. So yeah, that was good. So they have a basic understanding of the game and hopefully their characters. 2 of my 3 players are actually playing outside of their comfort zones. Okay. And I'm like, the people who have never played the game before and new role players are really going to appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. It's been my experience, if you have a good gaming group, you can play outside your comfort zone and actually really learn to like the character. Well, I also occasionally will have someone who's like, yeah, you know, I gave the character a shot. I played him for like 6 months or 6 sessions or whatever. I'm like, I'm not feeling it, so I'm going to switch. But at that point, it's like, there's no hard feelings. There's no like, oh no, it's like, nah, this just isn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
But generally, like, you know, it's like, oh well, here's a thought. Why don't you not play the magic user for once? Yeah, we have friends in our gamer group that is always the wizard, but we're playing a strictly tech cyber game. Yeah, I'm a wizard. I'm not making us praises to you. I'm thinking of one of our specific friends who, you know, in the vampire game always has to be Tremere.
Are you saying one of the players that is, let's just say, one would consider him wealthy, a wealthy man, a man that is not poor? No. I don't know a word for not poor, but yeah. No.
It's just they are all exclusively played Tremere, and the one time I played with them, we went into combat, and I said, "Here's firearms. You are going to be using firearms in this fight." And he's like, "This is stupid." I'm like, "Just shut up and do what I tell you." And of course, we took out the big bad, because in Vampire, guns, you get 5 people with guns, and you're going to take down anything. And we walk out of that, and he's like, "I'm going to buy firearms." Like, yeah, you've been playing this game for 12 years. You've never used firearms.
You know, a gun is one of my favorite spells. Yeah. I blame it on Ralph Bakshi. Actually, at the end of the movie Wizards, it was like, you know, oh look, 2 wizards battled, rah rah rah. And it's like, let me show you a spell that we used to do with Mom when you weren't around.
Boom. Yep.
I'm like, wow, that's a level 18 fireball.
Yep.
You know.
But for any of you out there, for any of you who don't know, in White Wolf, specifically Vampire, guns are pretty deadly. In LARP, doubly so.
Yeah. So yeah, and as I was as I was doing this, I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous. We did the normal after thing, which I'm never broadcasting, which is after game we go to a restaurant, Denny's, Waffle House, Norm's, whatever the hell is open that late, and we talk about game, we eat food. My God, I was hungry yesterday.
I can imagine.
I was starving.
Well, you hadn't stopped for what, like 14, 20 hours straight?
Yeah, it was pretty much, and I hadn't eaten at all.
Yeah.
Like, at all. So we finally got to Denny's, and I'm like, I think I will have the skillet. Yay, the skillet.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I don't clean my plate. But I was like, maybe I should have gotten the bread because I wanted to sop up all that stuff. So, excuse me. So that would have been awesome. That really would have been awesome. But, yeah, the players themselves were really cool about everything that we were doing because one of the dudes just needed a switch from his normal gaming circle because he plays with the same people in like 5 games.
So it gets a little stagnant.
It gets very stagnant because he plays with the derp crew. The derp, herpa derp. I do the stuff because I want to feel clever. Look at the chaos, derp. And the other players were like, 2 of the other players are in another game that I'm in, but it's a D20 game. And one of them is in another D20 game with the same GM. And it's like D20, 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 D20 everywhere. Or D20, D20, herp, derp. D20, D20, herp, derp. And then I come out with a game where you use D6s.
Yeah, and they're like,
and they're like, oh my God. So wait, the higher my stat, like this is a roll under game? I'm like, yeah, but you really have to roll under on 2d6. So none of your skills in this game can be higher than 6.
Yeah.
Because it's your skill plus the trait, roll under.
Yeah.
How hard is that?
Yeah, my first big role-playing game was Shadowrun, so I, kind of always have a fondness for rolling several pounds of D6s. Because I couldn't figure out how the system worked. So, 2 things. One, I always forgot my dice, so we go down to the Warhouse, and I'd pick out another set of dice, so I wound up having a metric ton of six-siders. And then I got to the point where I'm like, I could never figure out what the rolls were, and I hated having to stop the game for me to look up my dice pool. So I just color-coded my dice and had the cheat sheet. So attack roll, blue dice. Healing roll, green dice.
Okay.
That kind of thing. And to this day, I still have about 20 pounds of D6s.
Jeez.
I literally have a bag this big full of D6s because I got I had kind of a dice problem.
Okay.
Once we hit the D&D dice, I didn't because I wanted all my dice to match.
Okay.
So and then later on I discovered that for me, because my eyesight isn't the greatest, it was easier for me to read dice that had numerals instead of pips.
Okay.
So I kept rebuying my dice, and then they color coded them, and then I wanted them all to be in the same style of color code. So yeah.
Okay.
I just kept buying dice.
No, I'm definitely with that. I'm definitely.
Plus,
it
gave me an excuse to go down to the gaming store, which again, that was kind of my introductory to gaming. And I was a little bit older and actually had a job and income, so I could spend it on frivolies on another $6 worth of dice each game session.
Okay.
It's not like I was dropping hundreds of dollars on dice. No, that was for gaming books.
Liar.
That was for the gaming books.
Okay. Yeah. No. So quite honestly, so that was all good. What I gotta do is I gotta get the stream that we did on Twitch yesterday up on Twitch to watch, and then up on YouTube and all that stuff. So yeah, we're doing that thing. I'm still kind of learning.
Yeah, you've got to learn a whole new platform.
Yep, learning the platforms and learning so much learning. So
hopefully, Twitch will make it easier to link stuff up to YouTube as well.
We're getting there. Yeah, we're totally getting there.
Because you're not the first person to want to do that ever.
Yeah, so again, it's one of these things where there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a bit of a learning curve. So we're gonna be getting that. But for the people that for the people, yes, I do have a fan on Guardians of the Sacred Balance, because it is 1,005 degrees in here because of all the magic and all that jazz. So
And all the laptops and all the cameras and all the power supplies.
yeah.
The only reason why we're not dying is because of the joys of LED lighting.
Yeah.
It's so much cooler with the LED lights than if we were doing this with the compact fluorescence, or worse, incandescence. Incandescence, it'd be 120 in here.
If I used incandescence, I'd
Yeah.
be doing the show with me on this camera and a pile of ash right there. Just it's like I'd be playing on Fallout or something.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But the reasons that we are here.
Yes.
The reasons that we are here. We are here with you guys to talk about the stuff that we watch on TV.
Yep.
So we've been doing this whole back and forth thing where do we talk about Luke Cage first? Do we talk about Lost in Space first? Like, what do we talk about first? And in today's episode, I have decided that we are going to talk about the further adventures of the black man I'll never look like. Ever. Okay, I'm not saying I lost the genetic lottery, but let's just say I got 4 out of the 7 numbers. And Luke Cage, or the actor who plays him, got 8 of the 7 numbers. That's right, 8. Even the bonus number. Okay, he got all of them. So, but yeah, that is most definitely a thing that makes me feel ugly and insignificant. However, I want to start with the Luke Cage thing, because there's some parts I left out 2 weeks ago. We talked about Luke Cage getting sued for beating up a criminal, and the criminal's like, my neck, my back, my neck and my back, it all hurts, I am suing you for $100,000, which I'm a big fan. I really am. I'm like, I got beat up by Spider-Man. Really? I'm gonna take Spider-Man to court. I've got internal damage now.
Suddenly, the reason for a secret identity has completely makes sense in a very, very different way to me. I'm going to sue Spider-Man. Good luck with that.
Yeah, that ain't his legal name.
Yeah.
Of
course, on the downside is you can't really get any endorsement deals as a guy that can't. Can you just pay me in product?
Actually, no. Just make the check out to Cash.
Yeah.
My real name is Cash.
Cash.
That's who I am. I am Spider-Man, better known as Cash. So Luke Cage got sued, so in order to pay for it, he had to take on a crappy job. And the crappy job was hooking up with the dude who gave Mariah the inside tip in the first place. The inside tip with all that stuff. And the guy's like, look, I'll pay you $150,000 to be my guest at this party.
But isn't that what he owes in legal fees and fines?
He owes $100,000 in legal fees.
So he'd be actually money ahead on this deal.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds just to show up to a party.
Except the character is obnoxious as all crap. So it's like, yeah, come to the club with me. Be my friend. Show everybody that you and me know we go way back, bruh. And I'll give you $150. Oh, by the way, you gotta wear the hoodie. See where this is going?
Yeah, well, back in my mind is, how does that guy get $150,000 to spend on hanging out with a superhero for an afternoon?
He was able to give a freaking drug lord and criminal an inside tip on Wall Street that was worth $120 million. How do you get $100,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in other words, the investment banker.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly...
An arch supervillain.
Yes. The real bad guy.
Yeah.
And this is the dude that's pretty much been laundering the money for everybody. So, he's got the money. He's kind of like Saul from Breaking Bad. So,
how many pounds of cash would you like?
Yeah, pretty much. I only have $1,000 banknotes, so can I just pay you by the pound? Can we do that?
It's easier.
By the way, if anybody wants to do that with me, even if it's with fives, I'll be fine. Just head down to the GoFundMe and be like, I pledge a pound of $2 bills. Fantastic. I will take a pound of $2 bills. Anyway, so he's at the party and he is doing everything that we hate that people do. Like, I was never the popular kid, at least not to my knowledge. But I knew the popular kid. And I'm not saying that to be like that guy. I'm saying I knew the popular kid, and I kind of kept my distance for a long time. You know, like I was the friend to the popular kid because I was his friend, and that was it. You know, that was the whole thing. Like, we cooked, and we played video games, and we did all that stuff. I didn't go around going, yeah, look at me. Yeah, me and the best friend. Look at that. Yeah, I wasn't that guy. But that's what this dude was doing with Luke Cage. Even down with, hey, Luke, come sit with me next to on the sofa. Hey, girls, me and this dude, we go way back. Yeah, I know Luke Cage. Why don't you let me tell you about it more upstairs? Oh, that's fine. I was going for your friend anyway. But I take you too. You know, this is the level of sleaze.
This is what he was doing.
So, of course.
I'm sure Luke Cage was just very quietly like.
Oh, he wasn't quiet about it.
He wasn't quiet about it?
He wasn't quiet about it. The funny part of the scene was, he goes upstairs with the two chicks. And he's like, all right, Luke, just guard the stairwell. Make sure nobody comes up here. So Luke Cage, and his entire thing over the whole show is, motherfucker, do the job, get paid. Do the job, get paid.
Oh, and that's a callback to what you were talking about earlier. Find out what the job is. Hey, find out why you're going to hate the job. Hate the job.
Right? So, so inevitably, because this is a nightclub with criminals, so the dude comes down from upstairs, and he is just like, oh, now I'm not going to go by a play-by-play, but this is important because it sets up the next show.
Okay.
He comes down, and you know that guy I'm talking about. We all know that guy I'm talking about. And you know what the worst part about that guy is, especially in party situations?
What? I don't know.
Getting him messed up. As soon as the liquor and the drugs start going,
no,
irritating dude.
Let me tell you. I gotta tell you, I have fingers.
Exactly. That.
Yeah, I refer to that as the whiskey junk, when they get you cornered and they get obnoxious and you're like, I just can't get out of this conversation.
Well, he wasn't that far. He was what Stickman calls "I love you, let's start a band" level drunk.
Oh, that's Jack and Whiskey.
Yeah, that. You know what, man? We should totally start a band.
Yeah.
You play bass, right? Yeah. You know, I'm actually surprised that the chat's not saying anything about this. I think they're all like doing the ooh thing.
They're trying to figure out if they're that person, I guess. I don't know.
No, evidently one of them is calculating how much a pound of $5 bills would actually be.
I love the internet. You say so, you make a throwaway comment, and someone's like, "Well, that would be $283,000."
Actually, it'll be $2,270. So,
yeah, I would take that.
Yeah. So I'll take a pound of $5 bills, unless your name is Elon Musk, in which case I will take a pound of hundreds. I know you can. You've got your own island, and your own spaceships. Anyway, so as I was saying, he gets
What a weird world we live in. There's a man out there with his own goddamn island and spaceships. That's stuff we used to like. If I want $1 bajillion, I would buy an island and a spaceship, and then I would fight Cylons. That was me at like 8.
I don't want to hear it, man, because you literally live in the house that every little boy said, well, you know what? If I can't put that poster in my room, you wait. When I get grown, I'm gonna have caskets in my backyard and a pirate bar and a tree house and bodies hanging from trees that I can dance with at nights and a hot tub and a kite and a helicopter pad. I'm gonna have a helicopter pad too, you know. And sure enough.
Hey, in my own defense, the city made me take out the
helicopter pad?
No, the treehouse.
Yeah, I know. I wept that day.
I'm sorry, you're going off. I'm like, what is he talking about? Then I have that kind of like look at my own house in my head from the outside and go, oh yeah, Yeah, he's right. I'm in the Silver Spoon's house. You guys remember that dates me age-wise, but you people my generation, you remember Silver Spoon's house? Like an awesome house. He had video game cabinets.
Google it. So this guy gets let's start a band drunk. The I love you man drunk, and he's like, I got a great idea. Luke Cage here is my friend, and I brought a 45. Who wants to shoot the bulletproof man on stage? Let that sink in. Keep in mind,
I'm just thinking about that reality of that, because he's already shown in that show that if he gets angry, he can bounce the ricochet back at you.
Yeah.
So the whole time he's just like, those bullets bounce off, right? They go other places.
He said it out loud.
Oh, he actually says that.
He's like, man, no, this is one of the what they can bounce off me and hurt somebody. You are drunk. So of course, since it was, hey, let's shoot that guy, that's when the bad guys pop up and say, nah, let's shoot that guy. And he's like, Luke, I'll give you another $50,000 if you protect me. And Luke is like, well, I was going to protect you one way or another, but take the
yeah. Yeah, it's my credo. I have to protect you, but I'll take the tip. Thank you.
Exactly.
And give me a good Yelp review, because apparently that's important now. Wasn't satisfied with the quality of rescuing for Luke Cage. Probably will not be in distress again.
1 star. He brought Danny Rand. Anyway, so yeah, and the episode ends with Luke Cage getting him out of there. Now that was the last episode.
Okay.
So this one starts with those two running.
Oh, so it just picks right up in the middle of the moment.
It's like it didn't even have a cold opening stinger.
Oh, that's very Alias. Alias used to do that,
yeah.
And I loved it when they would do that thing, because it just gets you right into the show.
Exactly. And so they gotta hide from the Jamaicans that are trying to kill this fool. And but while they're doing it, it's yet another big moment where somebody is trying to tell Luke Cage, dude, you need to calm your ass down.
So is this number 2 or number 3?
This is number 4. This is number 4 saying you need. Oh, that's a good one. Sorry.
What was it?
We got somebody in the chat sitting up, and they're literally like, is Hero Yelp called help? That's right. Yeah, we're watching too, y'all.
Yeah, we all laugh until like one of the TV shows that becomes a thing, and we're like, wait, they got that from us.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, wait, is that called help? Yes, it's called help. That's what we call it. So yeah. But yeah, so what we got, on all that is another person is having a conversation with Luke Cage,
telling him yet again, you need to calm down, you need to get a hold of yourself.
Yeah,
you're out of control, and
not quite you're out of control, but you got to stop hating people like me, because you are a hair's breadth away from being me.
And that is the theme, is like, you will become the thing you hate if you give in to the evil inside of you, and your journey will be complete.
Yes, take your weapon, strike me down, make me slap the lisp out of my mouth, and your journey to the dark side will be complete. So yeah, that's not that I liked Emperor Palpatine, but I fucking loved Emperor. I loved Palpatine.
That's because Palpatine refined the formula for sounding awesome. Something, dark side.
You have to have the lisp. Yeah, something, dark side, something. Which, don't get me wrong, I kind of.
Meanwhile, on Apocalypse. What?
Something, dark side. I am not amused. I simply look for the anti-life equation, but I think I will screw with Superman. Boy, that went tangential. So in this episode, is honestly, though, the most heart-wrenching and gut-wrenching episode of the season.
Really?
Yes.
Because he's already dealt with a breakup, and he's dealt with dad issues, so much so that he beat a man almost beat a man into. I don't know what the word is, but
beat a man into litigation.
That's it. Beat a man into litigation.
Like, I might be a criminal, but you beat me so hard, I'm taking you to court. You know? But yeah, but I didn't say it had anything to do with Luke Cage's emotions.
Really?
See, over the course, Mariah, people start looking for Luke Cage and Bushmaster. Because Luke Cage has the stock dude, and Bushmaster has disappeared, but he's been beheading fools all over the city. He's essentially been taking his revenge in a very V for Vendetta sort of way.
Yeah, definitely, definitely letting people know that he is there and he has an agenda, and yeah, which is why he's disappeared, because they're looking for him.
Yeah, and so he go to the underground. Mr. Laba Laba. And what, y'all thought you were going to get away with me not saying that?
No, we knew. We were waiting for it, man.
But, so this guy...
I can't see the guy on screen without hearing your voice in the back of my
head. That's right, because we are brethren. Shabaranks. Anyway, so this guy... so Shades is out looking for Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm.
And he and his boy end up going to the barbershop in the middle of the night, just waiting, because everybody knows that's where Luke Cage hangs. Now, this is hard on two levels, because everybody knows that Pops' barbershop is neutral ground. Nothing goes down there. Nothing gets talked about there. Everybody comes in, and you can talk about books. You can talk about sports, but I don't care if you are the major drug dealer in town. You do not talk business in Pops. That's
holy ground, Highlander. Holy ground.
Pretty much. And so Shades and his boy are literally sitting in Pops's, like in the middle of the night, pre-dawn, and they have the talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was gut-wrenching. Primarily because, and this is a big plot point. Then I'm going to sum up with one other plot point, and we'll get to Lost in Space. But in this one, Shades and his boy just puts his cards on the table, saying, everybody saw something in you for leadership, and now you're dating this old bitch. You never took the reins for yourself. Why? And he's like, y'all don't know what I know, and y'all didn't see what I saw. And Shades was there in season 1 when Mariah killed Cottonmouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was on his way to kill Cottonmouth. He gets there, and Cottonmouth has been pushed off the balcony, and Mariah was beating his head in with the mic stand. That was...
as you do.
Well, there's a lot going on with Mariah, and Cottonmouth kind of... that whole, well, that's why your mom's in the hospital moment that every kid has?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Cottonmouth picked the wrong time. And so Mariah pushed him off a balcony and then beat his head in with a mic stand.
That will do it.
That's why mic stands are tripods now. Because you're an AV too, so it's like you haven't seen the ones with the really heavy weight on the bottom.
Well, I have a ton of those. Yeah,
you can't get them anymore for some reason. But Shades walked in on that, and he's like, "Yeah, she did that, and she did not hesitate." But he talks about how, he wants the American dream, not the life. And he's like, the bitches, the money, the guns, that's all cute, but there's more, a bigger life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's learning that from Mariah. So you get to see a lot involved in him, because he doesn't want to be a criminal for the rest of his life. He could be a criminal overlord. He's got the training. He's got the juice. And not just because he played Juice in Sons of Anarchy, but he's got the qualifications.
Mm-hmm.
But he's literally trying to get out and be a legitimate upper level businessman. He's trying to be what Mariah started as before she killed Cottonmouth and had to take over the family business. And his boy pretty much said, yeah, but she's not as smart as you. She's ruthless, but she's crazy. You should be in charge. And I'm not saying that just because of how I feel about you. And they have that conversation of, prison has a different set of rules. Rules that people don't understand out here.
Oh.
And, we do what we can in prison to stay sane. And his boy was like, I didn't do it to stay sane. I did it because I wanted to. And so did you. And he's like, but we're out now.
Yeah,
I'd
you're
still
out.
die for you. But
We're out, but you're not out.
yeah. Oh, no, I guess. Let's just say once they got out of prison, Shades pulled out of their arrangement.
Pun intended.
And you know, but his boy was loyal out of friendship, work, and something deeper.
Mhm.
And that came all the way out in that episode. And at the end, Shades pretty much said, well, this is how it is now, and you're not going to get what you want from me, and that's where it stands.
Yeah.
And his boy just got up and said, yeah, well, Luke ain't coming here, so we're wasting time. And it killed the end shot.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that is pretty.
I
Like you
told
said, it's pretty
you,
heart-wrenching and pretty
gut-wrenching,
pretty deep because they're touching on a lot of different stuff right
There's more to unpack there than at LAX right now. And the last shot was on Shades. It was on Theo Rossi, and he said, "No time is ever really wasted," in a very regretful way. So it was very like him admitting that he does have feelings for his boy, but he needs to be with Mariah. He loves Mariah. And that part of the urban demographic is very homophobic.
Yeah.
Very. I mean, gay for the stay is one thing, but if you get out, then, you know, stuff goes back to normal. And they illustrated that without beating people over the head with it.
Yeah.
But that conversation, I took, it hurt. That conversation was fucking painful.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, well played.
Yeah.
So-
No. That shows some real depth, and that's gonna.
Yeah.
That really also really humanizes the characters.
Oh, yeah. Oh, seriously.
Because I mean, they're villains, so they got it. No. Now you start like, well, it starts getting a lot more complex.
Yep.
And also, they're not doing formulaic writing, which is really nice.
Yeah. And this whole conversation happened with the two of them sitting on chairs back to back in the middle of a room.
Yeah.
And as the conversation goes on, pre-dawn is happening, so the lighting goes from a dark room to pre-dawn.
To pre-dawn. And they're back to back, so it's almost the way it's. I didn't see the scene, but it sounds like the way it was kind of blocked and lit. It's almost like that 3 a.m. pillow talk.
Yeah.
When the couple's having the deep conversations at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's exactly what it was staged as.
Yeah,
So
and
again,
also it's in Pops, which is neutral territory. It's the one place you can go where you can drop your role and your honor and your expectations and just be.
see, that's why I like having you on this show, because you kind of get these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
no,
you
I'm sitting there,
get
I'm
it.
digging this. Like I want to know who wrote that scene. Because that has some serious meat to it.
Yeah. But the two other
And I love that they
plot
did it with the. I love what they did with the bad guys.
Yeah.
Because usually all the like in-depth character development, humanization always goes to like the Scooby Crew.
Yeah.
So to have it go to the villains, that's like
Well,
which means at some point he's probably going to have. They'll have to have a shaky alliance or uneasy truce kind of situation.
Yeah. So the other two plot points is Misty actually gets the talking to from her boss, because she's been informed that though they don't have a reason to let her go, she's making the other people uncomfortable with her disability.
Really?
It's one of those conversations that pretty much say, you're being discriminated against, but we're not saying it outright so that you can't take us to court
Oh no,
with it.
no, I get it, and and again, kudos to the writers to doing that. But I'm like, wow, that is crazy shitty.
Not really. I mean, it's. Oh wait, sorry. It's standard for me.
Yeah, sorry.
It's
Yeah,
standard, it's standard for a lot of the Deckers out there. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is a real thing, and they
Yeah.
show it. And so Misty is like, motherfucking, and so that has that thing. Although she has her prosthetic arm, and she's learning how to use the prosthetic arm, so that's good. Outside of that, we come to find out that Misty's boss, the new police chief, has a history with Black Mariah. Like, he had a major crush on her in high school. They kind of played around a little bit. He never got over it. So, She is the salt to his throat. You know.
Yeah, so there's there's history there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of unresolved feelings there.
And you can tell he's still a bit thirsty. He's just a
Yeah,
little parched.
a lot of leverage there.
Um,
It's good to have a little bit of a connection with the new chief of police.
Yeah.
Just saying.
and then comes Bushmaster. Bushmaster has a talk with his uncle Anansi.
Okay.
And Anansi pretty much lays it down. He lays it down in the last generation talking to this generation type way.
Yeah.
Okay? Because Bushmaster is doing the thing. He's doing the thing and he's taking a city. And his uncle's like, whoa, dude, it's different here. Here, you start from nothing. And, one, the people here, they already hate us. They already hate us because of the color of our skin. We start from nothing and we build everything. We go to school for engineering and we've got to build our own firms. We build our own schools, our own stores, our own restaurants. And what you're doing is showing the people that already hate us that they're right to hate us. So stop being so savage, dude. I get it. I get you're pissed off at the Stokeses. You want to take them down. I know they screwed our family. But you got to do it different. You got to let go of the hate in your heart and replace it with peace and do it smart. And Bushmaster's like, nah, bruh. Nah.
Nah.
Nah. Or, what was it? You got to find a peace in your heart. You got to find a peace. Because if you do not have the peace, you are showing them that we are just as beastly as they call us. And Bushmaster's like, me say wah. And he walks out. And I'm like, okay. Me say wah. Mr. Laba Laba. Mr. Bombastic. And I'm just like, okay, I get that. I really get that. Because he's like, I'm out for vengeance. This is what we do. I know I'm not getting our family back. I know I'm not repairing the damage they did to me, but I'm taking what's mine.
Yeah.
Taking it.
There's also that moment of, oh, well, if you do this, you're proving that we're just as beastly as they accuse us of being. And the response is, yeah. So I am. And no, I'm more beastly than they accuse us to be.
Yeah. The problem, though, the problem with that comes with the great. You're proving that you are, but you're making it hard for the rest of us, bruh. And he's like, your family, I love you, but you gotta slow your roll.
Yeah.
And Bushmaster's like, nah, ain't having it, bruh.
He's like, I don't care about you. I'm still doing me.
Yeah, me, I have one job. Me got one job. That job is vengeance. That job is justice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So still kind of illustrating. So that was pretty much this episode. That
sounds like
it was a really well written episode.
Real rare episode because you got the that deep emotional connection.
Oh yeah,
and you got that
you got the different perspectives. You got Luke Cage being the hero for hire.
You have the exposition of the older generation telling the younger generation these are the things you need to do, and him going, no, too full of hate, don't care. Want a sandwich?
Yeah, no, too full of hate. What hate in my heart? That's what I got.
Yeah.
I got the hate. It's in my heart. There we go. Are we done? Good. Thank you. Management done. So on this one, I gotta say, this particular episode, I had to give a full house to. I really had to give a full house to this episode because I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, wait, what is that conversation there?
Yeah.
Damn. Mm-hmm. I suspected, but I didn't expect the writers to just come flat out and say it, but then follow it up with the fallout.
Yeah.
And that's
also kudos to them to hinting at it just enough for you to kind of go, but not no.
See, I don't know if they hinted at it in the previous episodes, but it could, because those two characters, they're responsible for Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're the ones that kicked the crap out of him when he was sent in prison before season 1 of the first show started.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was because of them that he got picked for that medical experiment, because he was in the infirmary because they kicked the shit out of him. So those two were always like peas and carrots. Like they were the crew. They're pretty much like you and Stickman. So unless you guys are hinting that to a back-to-back conversation that I'm gonna be seeing in like 5 or 6 years, that's how I looked at it. At least that's how I looked at it. And but when it came out that it was like, no, we were in prison, we were that thing, and it was like everything that his boy said was pretty much, I would have felt the same, wanted the same, and done the same, prison or not, because we have been friends since we were 4.
Yeah.
And so that was big. That was big. So yeah, and the Black Mariah connection to the police force and him going, I'm really trying to take care of you with what little power I have, which is a cool thing. But outside of that, it was, there was a lot of stuff there where, I never lost my feelings for you, and she was like, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And as long as I keep you thinking that I might one day fall for you, you will keep doing what I want you to do. And again, the yet another person looking at Luke Cage going, man, you got to calm yourself down.
Yep.
So yeah, all in all, it was good writing and it was nice and emotional. So, how interested are you in watching this next one?
Actually, yeah, but sounds really good. I actually really do want to watch the series, but I want to get caught up from the beginning.
Okay.
Because when I first watched, like I said, when I first watched the first episode, I threw it on as background, and I was like, oh, no, this is too good. I got to save this for when I'm not doing anything else.
Okay.
So.
All right, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
Yeah, so tell me about this whole, I want to say Swiss Family Robinson, but let's face it, let's call it what it is. Let's call it the further adventures of white people so dumb that they don't get that they take their problems with them.
Lost in space. Well, keep in mind, in the original version, they had to have a robot who had an alarm to tell them when they were in danger.
True.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger. I got it, robot. I can see the danger. It's right over there. My sensors have detected danger. Could you be a little more specific? Okay, so this is Lost in Space, episode 8, Trajectory. Thank you. I've lost the ability to pronounce the word. I don't know why. All right, so this episode is kind of the culmination of, because remember when we left the previous episode, it ended on the prep for the ship for launch. We're getting off this planet, and Vincent, the colony leader, bailing on everyone, taking all the remaining fuel to save his family's life. So that's where we left it off. You're like, oh crap. Right. So now we cut back to the mom and pa have escaped the tar pits. Fuel, all that fuel, which we will never talk about again.
Right.
And they're having a bonding moment. They've actually, while they're not back together, they're no longer hating each other. They're laughing. They're reminiscing about backpacking on their honeymoon. He actually kisses her. So, it's like they've kind of worked. Being trapped in a life or death situation and forced to endure the tar pit has actually, made them address the issues in their relationship, which is, I think, a new kind of family therapy they're doing. I don't know. But, so they had that kind of pressure cooker situation, which is like the second or third one that's come up. And so they've kind of worked out their crap. And that's when, they hear, they're walking, and he's like, I bet you $5 that the Vincent Stupid will be right over that ridge. And then as soon as he says that, they should hear the engines taking off. And they run over, and mom's talking to him over the radio, like, how much fuel do you have? And the dad's like, none of your business. We're getting off this planet. Don't worry, we'll send help, right? And then the kid's like, 17%. And she's like, that's not enough. Computers say it's enough. It's not enough. Because this planet hates you. So then Dad, being, the soldier and the practical one, does the practical thing of, okay, I'm just going to charge the ship, and punch it in the face.
Okay.
Which he proceeds to do. Jumps, dive bombs through the closing gantry, very Indiana Jones moment.
Okay.
Attempts to break into the pilot chamber, doesn't. Someone hits him in the face with a crowbar. He knocks him out, takes the crowbar, and uses that to stop the ship. And there's actually a funny callback to that later on where the kid is looking at Dad, and Dad's... Because keep in mind, Dad's already had a concussion from getting hit in the head with the wall by the robot.
Of course
so he's gotten hit on the head off the other side. So he's really beat to hell. And the kid looks at him and goes, "What happened to you?" And he goes, "Oh," and he names the guy, "Hit me in the head with a crowbar." And the kid's response doesn't mean to be, "How is he?" Because he knows his dad.
Right.
And the dad's like, he'll do. He'll be okay.
fine.
He'll be okay.
He'll be
He's a little
fine,
banged
man,
up.
you know.
And later on he goes, "Could you show me how to do that?" He goes, "What do you mean? What to do when someone tries to hit me with a crowbar?" Because it's a running gag through the whole thing. It's like, "Oh, there's monsters outside. Oh, what did Dad do to him?"
Right.
You know, because Dad's kind of a badass. And so Mom, they stop Vincent from leaving. Mom grabs on the radio and calls everyone back. She's gonna come clean with the colony and explain to them just how screwed they are.
Okay.
So everyone shows up and they start going through the big exposition. Meanwhile, Dr. Smith shows up and she's real distracted because she's panicked trying to find Judy because Judy knows.
Okay.
And rewatching this, I'm like, maybe this is why Dr. Smith seemed to not get the memo as to what the plan was to not die. Because she's ignoring the thing, going, "Have you seen Judy? Have you seen Judy?" And pointedly not paying attention to the big speech explaining what they have to do.
Okay.
So I thought, oh, well, maybe she genuinely didn't know. No. They spent an entire day and a half modifying the ship and stripping it down to where they can escape. They can get in space on the limited amount of fuel they have.
Okay.
You know, never even thinking that they've got a lake of fuel, within hiking distance that they can tap into. So, but they're addressing that problem, and there's a lot of drama and tension over that. Meanwhile, this is actually an opportunity for Dr. Smith's, the actress, to really shine.
You mean Parker Posey?
Yeah, Parker Posey really shines in this. And the writers, again, I hate Dr. Smith's character, but on the rewatching and really paying close attention, I realize a lot of that is on purpose. They're working very, very hard to make me hate her organically.
Okay.
Because they really show the depth of her psychosis, because she actually changes modes and personas every time. It's like she's like, "Oh, what do you want to talk about?" And she goes like,
it is a really subtle performance.
Yeah.
I gotta say, because upon I'm watching this stuff at around the same rate as you are,
Yeah.
and I'm like, God, I hate. Okay.
God, yeah.
Well, I guess. All right, they showed me that. All right, they showed me that, so I can't hate too hard. Oh, okay, fine. All right. Okay, well, yeah, they did set that up. But you really got to watch it. Like, you're held prisoner to the point where you have to watch the subtleties, which says Parker Posey is a better actress than I ever gave her credit
Yeah.
for.
And actually, again, on the rewatching, I'm like, you know what? I don't like the direction they went, but they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
The direction and the writing at this episode really highlights that she has some genuine personality disorder behavior, and she nails it. There's a very, Mom asks her to go down in the garage to look for some things, and she knows that Mom's going to ambush her. So while Mom has her back turned, she's pulling out some rubber tubing, making a garrote, while making small talk, while thinking how she's going to get the drop on Mom. Meanwhile, Mom locks her in the closet.
Yeah.
And she tries to, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" That's not going to work. Oh. Well,
in that case.
And then she becomes a cold and demeanor.
Yeah.
And the Mom's like, "What's your real name?" And this was something I actually watched this very carefully. She never says her real name. She says, "What's your real name?" And then she switches into "Oh, well, I was scared and I couldn't get my Jupiter 2, so I saw that Dr. Smith was there, so I took his tag and took his ship because he was hurt and dying, and then, well, why didn't you tell us when she landed?" "Well, you were so nice, and in other words, it's all your fault."
Yeah.
I was helpless and scared, and it's all your fault. And she's like, "Yeah, right. What's your real name?" And she just shuts down.
And it pretty much came down to look, I know what gaslighting is. I'm a doctor.
Exactly.
Don't let him match right now.
Yeah, mom's not buying it, and like mom's like, the mom actress is like, fine, I'm out of here, and she just turns and leaves. Just gonna walk away because she's like, I don't have time for this crap.
Right.
We're about to die from a black hole. Like, I gotta go. And as she walks away, she changes personalities again. This is like the 4th personality you've seen in the past 30 seconds, and she's like, she gives her sister's name, and I'm a physicist, and you don't think I could have done something to your precious Jupiter 2 while I was over there? And basically now playing the, I sabotaged it. If you let me go, I'll tell you what I did, and we can split ways, no harm, no foul. And she's like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
and now mom, but she gets to her. But again, she still never gave her real name. And it's almost at this point, I'm like, looking at the camera going, she doesn't know who she is. She's matching, like every time she comes up with one of these cons, it's not so much a con as she becomes a new personality based on what she thinks that person wants.
Yeah.
So she becomes the thing that they want. And I'm like, wow, like that's subtle. It's really subtle, but it's like, no, she doesn't know who she is because she never uses her real name. Why does she still insist on being called Dr. Smith?
Well, again, I think it was really set, believe it or not, in Tropic Thunder. Because she's the dude playing the dude that's playing the other dude. I don't even know who I am anymore. Who am I? Am I this guy or am I that guy playing that? You know?
Yeah.
And that, in other words, she's told so many lies and taken on so many personas and run so many cons.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's forgotten who she is or that who she became.
Yeah.
Those personas.
She's lost herself
in the roles. Yeah.
And that actually really does, it's very subtle, but it plays through. So I got to give props to the writer, the director, and the actress for making that happen. And be like, okay, like I said, on the second telling, I'm like, yeah, I was so caught up and not locking the direction, I didn't realize they actually had a plan.
Yeah.
I may not like the plan, but they have a plan. They also show that Will's smart in this episode, and he knows his shit. Because mom's like,
go on, because I missed that.
It's subtle, but it's there. Again, mom's like, here's a list of everything we need to strip out of the Jupiter 2 or the Jupiter 7, because it's the Jupiter 7 there, Sonny. And here's how much target weight we have to remove to be able to launch with the fuel we have. And she's like, we like the cockpit alone, like would save us over 4 tons. And the kid's like, well, actually, that would save us 5,364 pounds. He just knows, and she's like. He's like, yeah. Like, the kid actually knows the specs backwards and forwards. He is actually trained for the mission.
Well, yeah.
It's just that you get so caught up in his emotional dysfunction that they never show that the kid is actually competent.
Yeah, and that was the thing. They never showed him as incompetent in anything except dealing with people.
Yeah.
Which was okay for Will Robinson. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But let's see here. We're not quite running out of time, but we're getting there. Okay. Let's talk about the real big bit. The plan. The plan, and of course, the G-Force training.
Oh, the G-Force montage. What kind of sick torture chamber are you people running here? You know, okay, so the G-Force training.
Yes.
So they find out, well, they crunch the numbers, and it turns out it's not going to work. Nope. Because they'll pass out on launch. They'll wake up far too late to get the machine to work. So mom does the search and discovers that dad wakes up 19 seconds after G-Force. The next closest person is 35, and she looks at him and goes, "Of course." And they both know that it means he has to do it. He has to go leave his family to do the right thing. The thing she has raked him the coals over for the last 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Until they were forced to resolve that crap. And now he's doing it again.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a really big thing in regards to their dynamic.
Yeah.
Because the thing I don't like about Mama Smith, and I'm going to say this flat out, is she keeps putting her feelings for her marriage above the greater good.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I want her to be a robot or everything, but it's like, you're mad at your husband for re-upping to save the world, and you're holding that against him in space as you guys are leaving the world. Okay, fine. You could be mad at him because it's like, well, the plan was to get out of here anyway. I don't know why you're wasting your time. Kind of makes her a monster, but it would make her an understandable one. And then, of course, it's like, well, this planet's about to go down, and you're the only one that can save it. Well, of course it's you. It's always got to be you. I just want my husband. Well, and it's like, look.
Well, at that point, I didn't catch that as her being mad. It was just like, oh, great, it's gonna be you. Yeah. Because why? Because you're so goddamn awesome. It was just that kind of like, yeah.
Well, I hope your reading of it is more accurate.
Yeah.
I really do.
I really caught that because she doesn't give him shit about it. He even says, I'm not going to do, he even looks at her and says, I'm not going to do this without talking to the kids first. I'm not making the same mistake.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, we'll talk to the kids. And they lay it out to the kids, and the kids have a very rational response, which is, there's no upside to this. This is horrible. And they're like, yeah, we don't have a choice. What are you going to do? And Will's like, I'm not going to say it's okay, because if I say it's okay and you die, like, that's on me.
Then I've said it's okay for you to die.
They even have the conversation of, I got rid of the robot, and now so that you would stay, and now you're going again, like. And he actually like slays, because I was like, when I was writing this, I was actually making little notes to myself. I was like, oh, okay, this is some subtle stuff. This is messing with the kid. And then the kid literally says it word for word, and I'm like, okay, well played.
Yeah.
Well played, author. I always love it when the writer, when I's yelling something at the screen,
and
then the actors
like,
respond as if I heard me, and I'm like, oh, okay, they knew what they were doing there.
Yeah.
And
now see, what I was upset about in this episode was that specifically the redheaded sister, the member of the Smith family with common sense, much like my engineer dude, didn't say, if we hadn't gotten rid of the robot, we could have had him do it.
Yeah, you know who said that? Dr. Smith.
Yep.
In her fifth persona. Because she goes back to her, okay, what's the other thing you need to tell us, Mom? Okay, Dad's going to go into space, probably die, but if it works, we all live. All right, what's the other horrible thing you need to tell us? I don't want to tell the kids about Dr. Smith. That's way too much to unpack right now. Don't go in the garage. Okay. I don't know what that all's about, but we got other stuff to deal with. Okay. All right, and then there's the fun and games with the training where they torture the dad nine times before someone. At 5, I'm like, they use weights to crush him to simulate G-force, and then they deprive him of oxygen so he passes out.
And then they connect him to the sliding door.
Yes. Will, the kid who's helping, pushes the button up there. I don't know why he has to. They have the shortest guy have to jump up to hit the emergency button on the roof to open the door that crushes his father almost to death.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's some weird imagery here. I'm not quite unpacking, but I think, and then they do a montage of this.
Yeah.
9 times before finally someone's like, his heart can't take him more. I'm like, after 3, I think, keep in mind, this guy has had 2 major brain traumas in the last 3 days, and now they are choking him unconscious repeatedly.
Yeah. And here was a really interesting thing. That whole don't look in the garage.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell you, I hate to play the race card, and you guys are about to tell me to put it back in the deck, but black families don't do that. They really don't do that. It's, all right, is there anything else you're not telling me, Mom? Oh, yeah. Hey, Will, you know the only other person outside the family that you've been able to bond with? Bitch is cray. She cray. I got her locked up in the garage. If you let her out, she might kill us. Okay?
Yeah.
So stay your ass away from the garage. That's how it would have gone down.
And that's all you needed to do.
Yeah. Ever know? There's a reason why black people die first in horror movies.
Because if they didn't, they wouldn't.
We make too much damn sense. Wait, most of us have what's called country wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay, in that there is no good news. So we'll just give you all the bad news. You need help sorting through it? Cool. But we are not going to hide the fact that right now the situation's crap. The entire situation is crap. And we're just going to put that on the table.
Yeah, pragmatic.
You got to deal with it. You know? Oh, yeah, pragmatic primarily because the whole family has to work to keep the whole family up.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to play their part. So it's not mom and dad take the reins to protect the kids. It's the family's going to fall apart if we all don't work together. So, sorry kids, your friend, your girl, your girl, yeah, she tried to kill me 3 times. The only reason that woman is still alive is because I'm trying not to kill people. I'm trying real hard, Ringo. Trying real hard to be the shepherd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's so it would have gone down a lot different
Plus,
had the Robinsons been the Robinsons.
yeah. Also, yeah. Also, I mean, come on. We've all it's its own trope of you're welcome to go anywhere you wish, child. In this house, we have but one rule: never go beyond the green door.
Right?
Oh, okay. Why? Because that's where I keep my freaky shit, and I don't want you to see it. Oh, gross. Okay, yeah, I won't go there.
Yeah. No. It's more like we have but one rule: never clean your room. The demons will come. That's called reverse psychology.
Yeah, but yeah, there. So of course, Will overhears his parents talking about Dr. Smith. She got to you, didn't she? Yeah, I hate to say it, but she got in my head. I'm real nervous that she might have sabotaged the ship. Oh, so then Will's like, "What? I'm not supposed to talk to you." And this is where Dr. Smith switches to being Will's best friend because she's weirdly likes the kid in not a healthy kind of way. There's something bizarre going on there.
Well, he is really sweet.
Yeah.
It's one of those you can't not like Will Robinson. Like, he's the guy that everybody likes because he's just so he's like who is it? He's like Steven Universe in the sense of he's so good and so helpful. It's hard to hate him.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Like, you have to try to hate him, then you got to get drunk and try even harder, you know?
It's also like I don't know who, like she is. There's a Star Trek episode with an empath was the same way. I don't know who I am. I'm a different around each person. I don't know who I am, but I've decided I like who I am when I'm with you. So that's the person I want to be.
Yeah.
It's almost like that kind of thing going on because she seems to be the closest to the person she wants to be when she's with Will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so she's like, and he goes, "My mom says I'm not supposed to talk to you." And she goes, "Then don't. I don't want to get you in trouble." And the weird thing is, I don't think at that moment she's kind of playing him, but maybe she's not really. And of course, then he talks to her, and she's like, and it's so funny because then she plays him, and he goes, "Well, parents don't think they can tell their kids tell their kids the truth, and your mom would never tell you that your dad's just going off to die." And the kid Will's like, "Yeah, she did. She told us everything." And
it was like, oh well.
And then she shifts.
Since that didn't work.
She kind of changes tone. But you and I both know that there's someone who could pilot that ship who wouldn't die. And now you realize, again, she's making a hard play to get Will to fix the robot for her so that she can escape with the robot and leave everyone else to die.
Yep.
Or actually, I think what her real plan is she wants to escape with the robot next to her. So when they go, "Well, we're going to punish you for crimes," and go, "Nah,
yeah,
Mr. Pardon here,
like,
Mr. Pardon's here says I'm in charge."
Mr. Pardons.
Yeah.
Since I have
Okay.
That's I actually like. I think I'm going to name one of my weapons in an RPG that.
Yeah.
Mr. Pardons. That's kind of cool.
So she tries her plan, which fails, and then she's kind of like, crap. So, they're working on it. They come up with a new plan that the only way they can save themselves is to get the engineer involved because it takes two people. And it's a funny thing where he's like, yeah, I figured out how to strip that system better because I know this ship better, so I know what I could throw out. We even gave you an extra 200 pounds. Really? How much do you weigh? About 170? He's like, no. And they do the real funny kind of cliche thing of when they're having the conversation with Judy and Judy gives him the puppy dog's eyes. He's like, "That's not going to work. Nope, not going to do it. Nope. And she just keeps, and he's like, "Nope."
Like in
damn it. He's like, yeah, he's like, "Damn it, I'm going to do it." And then he's in the chair being strapped in and he's like, just tell people I got paid a lot of money for this. And she's like, "Yeah, okay."
Which was fine because, this
and it is
a lot better than really please because technically she's still underage. Well, not quite underage, she's barely legal.
Yeah, but also from a characterization standpoint, the fact that she did it with puppy dog eyes means he's still a paladin. he's still a good pure. He did it for pure reasons, not for impure ones.
Yes.
So if she had done kind of the sexy thing, well, then he's like, no, I got an agenda. But he, by doing it with the puppy dog eyes, he's still pure. He's still pure of heart. He's still a paladin, a reluctant one.
Yeah, it looks like we got somebody here in the chat. Somebody here in the chat. I think it's Vixen. She's like, "Oh, I know what you were talking about, henchman." So.
But so everything leads up to that, and again they crush him in the chair, and the reason there's sorry, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. The reason why Mom's freaking out is Mom is losing it. She's like, I have to check to see if Smith actually sabotaged the ship. I need to work out the math. I don't know what we're going to do. We need more training. And he goes, hey, we got time. Let's wait a couple days. Let's delay launch by a couple days. I can work on things here. We can deal with Dr. Smith. You can go through the ship with a fine-tooth comb. Give it to, we'll just take, and she's like, you know what? That makes sense. That'll work. Calms down. We got this. 1, 2, 3. Mom, Dad, turn on the radio. Click. Well, we've recently discovered that there's a black hole, so we're going to leave in 24 hours and abandon you all. And they're like, crap. So they have to launch now.
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
Because the planet hates you. It heard you talking and went,
oh, wait, we're frozen up for a minute? Okay, and yeah.
Yeah, the planet heard you and went, nah.
Nah. Nah, we good, bruh.
No.
We good.
Okay. So then there's this whole big build up to the launch. There's a lot of tension, a lot of dialogue and emotionality. They launch, and it's working. And of course, then Will, because the launch is going on, and he's upset, worried about his dad, and he can do nothing to affect the outcome.
Right.
Goes down to talk to his good friend Dr. Smith, and they have a tete-a-tete and a heart-to-heart. At whoa.
Yeah. It's all hot. Everything's all hot.
Holy shit, the phone, we baked the phone.
Yes, we baked our camera.
That's how hot it is here in the tower.
We're getting there. Right. It's getting easier.
Yeah. Well, anyway, while you do that, I'll finish off my quick dial.
You're missing it though, because right now it's the camera that points at you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what we gonna do here?
We're just gonna flip that around and point at me.
I wish it were that simple. I truly wish it were that simple.
Well, okay. Well, bit of a spoiler here. I know this is shocking and out of character, but Dr. Smith cons Will to let her out. I know no one saw that coming.
Yeah, it's a thing. It is such a thing.
I learned as a small child watching Twilight Zone marathon on Thanksgiving Day. Mm-hmm. When you come across a man inexplicably imprisoned in a closet held back by a tiny little silver holy symbol, and he begs you and curses you and does everything he can to convince you to just take the shepherd's hook from off the door. And the guy tells you, no, it's actually Satan. You know what? Maybe you should ask, why don't you just do it yourself?
That is a thing. So I'm gonna do something a little wacky here, real quick. Because we only have a few more minutes of the show.
Yeah, this is like I only have a couple more minutes of stuff.
Yeah, so we're gonna do something really fun.
Because the problem is, this is one of those moments where I kind of lost it, and I was like, got genuinely angry at the show.
Really?
Yeah. And because, well, should I just keep going?
Yeah, no, just
okay.
Keep going.
All right. So Will's conned. He lets Dr. Smith out, and then they cut back to him like, she waylays him, and he knows he got conned. I mean, he's like, damn it. And Dr. Smith is literally doing the tiptoe sneak. And you can, and this is very important. Again, I rewatched this scene very, very carefully to make sure that my initial emotional reaction mirrored what actually happened. And she's sneaking up on Mom in the Jupiter 2 control room, talking the Jupiter 7 through its flight. Right. She's having to give them second-by-second course corrections, or they will die. This is which they proved in the 10 simulations where they only survived the last one because they added the second dude. That he can't, like it's almost impossible to do this. So, and as you're walking up, you can overhear her in the other room. Therefore, Dr. Smith can overhear her. Only a few more seconds to go, and you'll clear the atmosphere, which means literally we are talking a few more seconds. Dr. Smith sneaks up, and he's like, "Okay, you have one last turn to make. I need you to bake 7 degrees." Thwack! Pipe to the back of the head. Knocks Mom out one hit, and then you hear the dad over the radio, "7 degrees what? Right or left? 7 degrees what?" And Dr. Smith has this horrified look on her face, like,
hang on just a second. All right, our video is frozen up for right now, but we will be right back, okay?